after putting up 17 saves last time out. Faceoff X will be a huge story in this one. Zach Hayashi is back for Navy after missing 7 games. He's excellent, but Will Coletti, one of the best in the country at the faceoff circle. We are underway. Army-Navy, the 105th time in college lacrosse. And it is Army that takes over the first possession.
Shot clock.
So Garza breaks the seal of this one with 8:12 to go in the first. First start against Holy Cross a few games ago, had 4 goals in that one. That was 4 of the 9 entering this contest. Army gets possession off the faceoff. Number 5 Black Knights. And average this year first. Sean Byrne, you highlighted, it's the first year of him being the full-time keeper on the side of Army. But the defense and A.J. Pilot's been a big part of that unit, too.
All big names, but it often starts in those cases with your short stick D-middies. They're your lockdown corner. He'll feast on that matchup all day long.
It's one of the strategies that you have going in, especially with Army and the way that they can put it up is, again, how do you deploy your poles against a unit where Hill Plunkett, Evan Plunkett can initiate as midfielders, and then Eicher, Fountain, Fellows, all dangerous attackmen. First penalty marker in.
The interior of that Army defense and then giving it to Haley for the better shot.
Flaherty's 11th assist on the year. Haley has a point in every game this year for the midshipmen. And it was unreleasable, so still time on the man up, but Army takes the win off the faceoff.
And that's the value of Will. Lacrosse games every year. The rivalry is what it is, understandable, but I just love the quality of lacrosse, especially if you appreciate defense, which I do, and ground ball play, because as you can see right here, it's guys that are selling out every time that Pill's on the turf. I love that. Out of a set timeout, knowing that this is an option we can go to. Kudos to the mids.
That's a stunning play. And the Pole, who has 9 points this year. 5 goals, 4 assists for Marsh.
Have to score against Army, but couldn't be more impressed with what they're doing defensively.
So continuing a bit of a basketball theme, mentioned the play stolen from the Golden State Warriors. They get an and 1 goal and a 1-minute man up. But a key face-off one for Army to start to bleed some of this time.
Defined by how good your short sticks are on the ball. At that point, Navy needed to slide to their short stick. Army took advantage.
The senior, just the 5th goal of the season. And Army gets one back with just under 2 minutes left in the first half. Halftime, what would be the bullet points as we get ready to start the second half?
Well, I think if you're Joe Barisi, it's, hey, let's capitalize on getting that goal late. And if you're Navy, hey, let's score off this win from Hayashi out of
right there, back and forth, 4 ties, 4 lead changes. 5 goals scored by 4 different players for Army. The Chicago kid, Aiden Weisenborn, gives Army the lead. This was 22 on the season. Shadowens versus Coletti on the big face-off. It's won by Army. The wing scoops and Fournier stumbles to the ground. The flag is out. Penalty coming up on Navy.
Season in the first half needs to just reset and get back down to the basics and start sliding to short sticks.
It's been since the 5:18 mark of the second quarter since Navy has scored a goal. And since then, it's been 5 in a row for Army. Shadowens win.
It's really unheard of, no matter what year you are as a college lacrosse player.
His breakout was the game against Lehigh earlier on this season for Navy. He had 5 goals in that game, the most by a freshman for Navy.
Definition of a lefty finisher, so savvy, and you saw it on that play with that high stick fake.
Fountain, a freshman. Weisenborn, a freshman. Hill Plunkett, a freshman. And all those players for Army have had an impact on this game. I mentioned Goers and Jack One, a true highlights Sixth multi-goal game of the season, and Ponzio trying to will the midshipmen back in this one in the third quarter. Off the draw.
These are the plays right here, Chris.
Ball. Big win.
Another freshman.
For the midshipmen.
Conditions, Chris. This is what we like to bring you when you come join us here in Annapolis.
It's just the weather is fitting of the matchup we have.
That's fair.
You got to be tough.
It's a grimy day for a grimy game.
Navy has lost 18 games in a row when trailing after 3 quarters, so trying to reverse that. Key Patriot League matchup. 11-6, by the way, faceoffs in favor of Army, and Coletti almost had one nearly off the faceoff.
The season, probably one he's not going to forget.
And looking a lot like the basketball Hurley, I know, doing a lot of talking after the goal. Shadowens, Coletti. Coletti wins initially, now a ground ball fight. Still on the ground. Navy, possession, Gallagher. He tried to gripe, but Coletti of all players comes to knock it away.
This is the game that's...
Looked like it was getting away from the midshipmen. Mentioned it, 3 goals in a row. A 3-point game for Flaherty, a goal, a couple of assists. Ground ball fights. It's Army that secures. 4-on-3.
A lot of that net. Haley improved his angle for a critical goal.
4 in a row for the mids. Anything but mid since late in the third. They have roared back. Remember, Navy has lost 18
for Navy by being overly aggressive.
Tolker, a Maryland product who grew up going to the Army-Navy lacrosse games, now a participant in it. As a senior, another goal against Army. This one huge to give his team a 1-goal lead in the fourth. Off the face-off X, it is Navy that controls.
And if you're Navy, stay aggressive. Again, under cover by Army, but just all over ground balls leads to a great look and a 2-goal lead.
Highlighted the story of Navy's season. Early on, got off to a strong start. Injury bug hit them, and Flaherty was one of those players who missed 3 games in the middle of the season, and the team missed him. Possession to Navy. They're getting healthier down the stretch. Hayashi, we've seen him. Only one, and then Norton, who's a short stick on the wing for Navy. Gigantic clamp. Kicked out. So the defensive third for Army, they scoop it up and win the faceoff. It can set up a possession with under 2 minutes left.
Position, it's too much to ask somebody to slide and be there. Credit Plunkett, though, for attacking.
Violation on the faceoff for Army, so it's Navy who will have the ball in a tie game, 1:23. Having overtime between these two, and let's see what'll make the difference here in Annapolis.
What a gift here. And that initial faceoff, always so important. Both teams have a timeout if they want to use it. I think we've seen ball on Evan Plunkett's stick is a good